Over the last few seasons, Nikola Jokić has emerged as one of the NBA's most unique and most valuable players. And his signature shot, the Sombor Shuffle, perfectly epitomizes his game. A little bit quirky, but extremely effective.
Shot clock's at 5, Porter into Jokić. Jokić, Sombor Shuffle on the step back!
Those who underestimate Jokić do so at their own peril.
He's one of the best basketball players in the world right now and a perennial MVP contender. As a scorer, Jokić now combines volume, efficiency, and variety as well as almost anyone in the league. He averaged 26.4 points per game this year and is a threat to score from everywhere on the floor. But the Sombor Shuffle is definitely his most singular move. Nuggets play-by-play voice Chris Marlowe named the move after Jokic's hometown of Sombor, Serbia. But what exactly is the Sombor Shuffle? It's a one-dribble move that ends up with Jokić jumping off of his right leg and launching a high-arcing mid-range shot. But seeing as how he deployed it to hit a shot clock beating 3 in the playoffs, you can't rule out a shuffle from deep either.
One-footed step back at the end of the shot clock, just another bucket for him.
The most distinctive part of the move is the footwork required, the shuffle part. Check out this quintessential example. It starts with Jokić catching a pass in the mid-range. First, he faces up his defender. Then comes the key move. He takes a right-handed dribble and lunges forward with his left foot, but that's all a decoy. He already knows he's going to shoot the ball. As he gathers his dribble, he jerks his body backward, shifts his weight over to that right foot, elevates his left knee, and then propels his giant frame upwards into his jump shot.
Little fadeaway jumper splash! Wow!
Again, the key part is the subtle but vital lurching forward that initiates the action. Just that little move forward puts his defender on his heels for a split second. That allows Jokić to create just enough space when he changes direction and moves backward to get his shot off. The footwork might vary a little bit depending on the predicament. It has to, depending on who is guarding him and what approach they are using. Watch closely. It's like a hybrid between a step back and a fadeaway, as Jokić uses both his dribble and his backward leap to create that separation.
Jokić to beat the clock.
The whole sequence lasts just a second or two. The footwork creates the space, but the simple fact that Jokić is 6'11 and 280 plus pounds helps too. Add in the facts that Jokić has both a high release and shoots a high arcing ball, and the Sombor Shuffle sets up an unblockable shot.
Sombor Shuffle is good! And the Nuggets have the lead!
The origin of the shuffle is surprising. Jokić didn't start actively incorporating it until he was recovering from an ankle sprain in 2017.
It was kind of a little painful to jump with the both legs, and I kind of started jumping with the right leg. And the ball was going in, I said, maybe I can use this. It's working since then, so, and I like the feeling in my hand when I shoot it, so I love the shot.
Announcers have labeled the move as awkward for years.
An awkward-looking, one-legged fadeaway by Jokić.
But that's not accurate. Sure, it's unorthodox, but so was the sky hook.
From step backs to fadeaways, the league's best players have always invented unique ways to get their own shots. One that looks similar to the Sombor Shuffle was Dirk Nowitzki's one-legged fadeaway. Dirk was often the point of reference for Jokic's early shuffles.
Watch a little Dirk step back, leg up, bam.
Dirk Nowitzki style baseline jumper.
Dirk Nowitzki style.
Dirk Nowitzki style.
The NBA's best scorers, from Kobe Bryant to LeBron James to Kevin Durant, have dabbled in one-legged jumpers. But while Jokic's body movements might look a little different than what we're used to, that doesn't mean they're not highly calibrated. Sometimes the Sombor Shuffle is more of a lateral movement. Other times it's more like a pure backward fadeaway. But by the time Jokić gets into his shooting mechanics, his release is consistent, which drives his success.
Even when defenders think they've contained him pretty well, it doesn't seem to work. Just ask Draymond Green.
You start to try to use your strength and he just roll off you, spin right off. He hit a couple of those right foot joints that he shoot on me like frustrating as hell. You feel like you've done everything you could possibly do to make him take a bad shot, and it hit nothing but the bottom of the net.
Jokić is one of the best shooting bigs in the league, and the numbers prove it. At 26, he's already become almost a 40% three-point shooter. He makes over 85% of his free throws. These are elite-level shooting indicators, but here's the real defining stat. Jokić is the best contested two-point jump shooter in the world right now.
Shot clock at 4. Sombor Shuffle. Yes!
Nikola Jokić.
Check this out. Jokić has made 53.8% of his contested two-point jump shots this season. That's the best mark in the NBA among the 45 players with at least 150 such attempts.
Jokić turns, fires, and hits. Nikola Jokić nails it.
These shots aren't easy. Jokić just makes them look that way. Using Second Spectrum's quantified shot quality, the average NBA player would shoot just 37% if they attempted the same two-point jumpers as Jokić. His ability to drain these ridiculous rainbow jumpers over anyone is a big reason why Jokić is the most efficient post player in the league right now. And what makes Jokić so unbelievable is that his efficiency gets better when he's double-teamed. He averages 1.17 points per direct post-up when going one-on-one in the post, a figure that balloons to 1.36 when doubled. That's because aside from being a great shooter, Jokić is one of the best passers in the world too.
And look, we're primarily here to talk about the Sombor Shuffle, but let's also take a moment to appreciate one of the best big man passers of all time.
Jokić is not only the best passing big in the league, he's just one of the best passers in the league, period.
Wow! Just wow! Look at this pass!
Touchdown, Denver. John Elway couldn't have done it much better than that.
Sometimes I think the guy that you passed the ball doesn't even know how the ball went to him. I think that's the kind of the most exciting thing. Kind of surprised everybody.
Anyway, when teams send double teams at Jokić, he almost always makes the right play. When they don't, he can get into the Sombor Shuffle. It's never his first choice. In fact, Jokić is smart enough to know that contested mid-rangers should be used as a last resort. But the shuffle is a great option anytime Jokić needs to get a shot off. Thanks to ESPN researcher Matt Williams, we were able to break down just how often Jokić uses the Sombor Shuffle. Dating back to the 2019-20 season, we tracked 103 unique Sombor Shuffles, defined only as plays where Jokić dribbled into a one-legged jumper off of his right foot. Even though every single one of these Sombor Shuffles we studied was contested, Jokić made 51.5% of these shots. We can also estimate that an average NBA player would have made 32%. Jokić is the best contested jump shooter inside the three-point line, and he outperforms expectations by a mile. And that's important because it illustrates his value. He can take a predicament that would be inefficient for a regular player and turn it into a good outcome for the Nuggets. That is what makes Jokić special. As soon as the ball is in his hands, the Nuggets become a very good team. Whether it is his passing, his screening, his finishing, or yes, his shooting, Jokić has become one of the most complete big men in the game. In an era defined by incredible guards and wings like Steph Curry, LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and James Harden, Jokić is reminding us that centers can still get it done in the best basketball league in the world.